Hey everybody, welcome to another 90-second beer review Instagram Live happy hour. So for those of you that joined us back around the holidays, we did the first one of these with Blackfire Brewing in Raleigh. We are hoping to do these now once a week going forward. So each week we're going to feature a different brewery. Tonight we've got Durty Bull Brewing from Durham, North Carolina coming on. So we're going to try a couple of their beers, talk a little bit about Durty Bull, and just, talk beer, have some fun. So let me invite the folks from Durty Bull in, and we will kick this off and start drinking some beer. So give Matt and Ryan a minute to join in, and I'm thirsty, so I'm ready to get going. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, man?
How you doing?
I need to turn that on so we hear him. Hold on, we can't hear you.
Up.
Let's try again.
How you doing?
Hello. Good. Yeah, here. I'm gonna turn this on. Okay.
I like the fooder background we got going here.
Oh, right. Yeah, we're joining you live from the brewery, so we figured this is our favorite thing in the brewery is these two fooders. So
That's perfect.
we just got a lot of background noise going on here. I'm gonna turn the fan off real quick.
All right. Those are some big fooders. Hey, everybody's joining in. We got Matt and Ryan from Durty Bull joining us, and we're gonna crack open a beer in a minute and start talking a little bit about Durty Bull. We'll wait another second just so we can get the everybody seated. There we go. All right, you guys hear me all right?
We can hear you. Yep.
Perfect. Welcome, guys. So why don't you let's start off and introduce yourselves, and then we'll crack open this first beer.
Hey guys, I'm Matt, owner of Durham, and this is Ryan, sales manager.
All right. So I want to talk about a bunch of different things about, what you guys are doing at Durty Bull and a whole bunch of random beer stuff. But first, it is a happy hour, so we got to drink a beer. So starting off with the newest hazy IPA. So while I'm pouring this, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about this beer?
Yeah, so this is 9 a.m. our most recent IPA. Really like the results that we get from our alcohol IPAs. So this one is not, I think, incredibly easy to drink for 9%. A little dangerously easy. We have discovered, but it's topped with El Dorado, really nice tropical fruit kind of going on there. I get melon out of it. Some nice kind of like
hey, Ryan, you're cutting off a little bit. I think it's the connect.
Well, I'm gonna get.
I don't know if it's an internet connection.
Are we back?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sorry, we just got off Wi-Fi, we off Wi-Fi. So this would be better. We're way back in the brewery, so.
All right, no worries. So yeah, Ryan, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about the beer, and we'll go from there.
So yeah, it's 9% ABV, like carefully drink for that ABV. It's hopped with El Dorado, Galaxy, Mosaic, Motueka. It's a little more of a complicated hop bill than we like to do. We stick to like 2 or 3 hops, but this one just we like the sound of all these together and figured out really well. Got some really nice like mango, pineapple, tropical fruit salad kind of vibe on. I get a lot of melon in there, honeydew, watermelon, and then there's nice like kind of like lime and grapefruit sort of thing from the Strata.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a more complicated hop regimen, but I mean, to your point, I mean 9%. This thing is dangerously drinkable. It's like I get like all that pineapple juice and mango going on, a little bit of peach.
Yeah.
And it was actually interesting. I was looking at the hop list here, and you've got like Motueka on there with like the lime kind of thing, and like I don't necessarily get the lime, but I feel like the pineapple is really bright, and I almost wonder if it's like that citrus hit from the lime.
Yeah, big part of that, and probably a big part of like the gallon that because we didn't use any a lot of the subtleties of each hop kind of playing together.
Yeah. So now that we got a beer open, why don't you guys tell us a little bit of a background on Durty Bull, just kind of when the brewery got started, kind of what you guys like to focus on from a beer perspective, and anything else that's kind of unique about Durty Bull.
Yeah, so we started in 2016. I had been homebrewing for a good time. I got in touch with our current brewer now, Davis. He had helped start Full Steam and was messing around a lot with local ingredients. Really big into Belgian beers and sours, and doing all sorts of long sours, long-term, and that really interest, the ability to playing around with sours and bacteria. And we really started getting along together. So he's actually helped start the breweries when he opened up in 2016 with the focus on big beers, sour beers, long-term wood aging. Started out with two 30-barrel shooters and I think 35 barrels first 3 months. We're actually finally getting out of those barrels that are 3 years old. We'll be releasing one soon, our new barrel blend, which is a long-term sour. Red wine barrels for 3 years, and almost a year on after blend. We bought a lot of condition after we had a honey.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting kind of challenge, right? Starting a brewery with kind of that wood aging kind of long-term view on production, then having a couple of years where you don't have that wood aged beer stock to start blending from.
Yeah, and then we obviously make our like clean beer kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do. We have a lager, and we started focusing more on doing stouts. We really came up on recently. We're gonna drink one later. So yeah, we kind of run the gamut. But yeah, definitely is the real passion here. Sour beers.
Yeah, I know. Actually, one of our my wife and I think one of our favorite like series over the summer was just some of the sippy cup kind of fruited wheat ales, like just easy summer crusher kind of beer. Those are a lot of fun. But I mean, yeah, I one of the things I was kind of curious about. I mean, you guys have I think been crushing the hazy IPAs a lot recently, and you've come out with a couple ones recently. I think between the $400 jeans and the In Search of collab with Barrel Culture, and now this one. And like, how do you guys think about like differentiating? Hazy IPAs, a lot of them tend to fall into kind of a similar realm of hazy tropical fruit. Like, how do you guys think about that when you're like putting a hazy IPA out, like making it something different, fun, that's gonna kind of be something that you guys can bring to the customer?
So with the hazy IPA, we try to think about as many top combinations and but we really don't do that many of them with Citra, which is dominant hop in a lot of these hazy. So and we get great hop, so use it. Try not to rely so heavily on tried and like Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy.
Hey Ryan, you're sorry, your audio's cutting out again. We're getting some dead space.
We can move and get back home.
Yeah, that might work best just because it's cutting out like kind of halfway through.
Oh shit! Yeah. All right, we'll be 1 minute.
All right, no problem. Getting a little walking tour of the brewery as we go through.
Exactly.
So Matt, are you the big Simpsons fan that's got all the Simpsons memorabilia all over the tap room?
I mean, I am a Simpsons fan, but I would have to say our brewer is the big Simpsons.
Okay.
I'm gonna get us back. Oh.
All right.
And now we're in our this is usually our barrel room, and event space, but during all of COVID, it is a keg storage and can storage space.
I'll say everybody needs far too much keg storage right now.
Yeah, we don't like having them empty.
Yeah.
Sitting around, we like them full. Not a can.
I said that was one of the first things. I think the first time I came to your tap room a couple of years back, two of the first things I noticed. One was the incredible amount of Simpsons stuff all over the tap room and on that window on the side there, and then immediately right behind the bar, just seeing the barrel room with kind of the walls lined, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, they're all still here. They're just behind cans and kegs. Everything, unfortunately. And cans are so hard to get hold of. We got to take them when we can get them and store them until we need them, basically, because we'll have 3 weeks where we can't get cans at all.
Yeah, so how are you guys finding cans right now? Because I'm hearing from people that, when they try to sign up for an order now, it's 6, 8, 12 months, if not longer sometimes.
I mean, we're not buying truckloads, so we're only 2 to 6 pallets at a time. But we have had good relationships with our can vendors for now almost 4 years. So we have multiple can vendors, and we have we play the game. Whatever we got to do, we're all helping each other. We run full steam a pallet. We've had to get supplies off of them. Everyone's.
Yeah, I mean I feel like that's the only thing to do right now. I mean, it's just so hard to come by, and everybody's feel like piecing it together a little bit right now.
Have labels and cans that we can just apply a label to. We're not waiting for our special. So we're a little, but it's still not easy. I can't wait to put big cylinders and not the little ones.
Yeah. So are you guys bringing a mobile canner to do your canning runs?
So right before this, we actually got a loan and bought a line. We actually split it with Starpoint.
Oh, nice.
Shrek it between the two facilities and makes it way more affordable. And I can't even imagine the cluster. Can I say fuck here? Clusterfuck.
Yeah, we're good.
The clusterfuck of getting the can line scheduled. And it's really inefficient if you're not canning a large amount of beer. It gets really expensive.
Yep.
So just having that amount of beer sitting in tanks, sitting ready, it'd be a nightmare on top of all this other nightmare. So it makes our lives and Starpoint's lives very easy having this canning line now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's actually a good preview. So we're going forward. We're going to be trying to do these about once a week, and we actually have the guys at Starpoint lined up for St. Patrick's Day. So we're gonna try a couple of their beers and enjoy St. Patrick's Day the right way. So we kind of been jumping around a little bit. I jumped off to the hazy IPA just because I'm sitting with one in front of me, but I wanted to get a little bit back to kind of what you talked about in terms of where you guys started with the sour beers, with the wood aging. So now that you're 4 or 5 years in and you're starting to get some product out of some of these longer wood aged beers, I mean, what kinds of things are you guys trying to bring to the market for craft beer fans right now?
So we have a lot of sours, and most of our now is sour focused. A lot of clean beer. We're thinking about doing some clean beer stuff in the near future. Mm-hmm. So far, we're got funky saisons. We have about 45, 46 barrels of bourbon barrels. We have several red wine barrels.
Just beer.
We have a beer that we did a cool ship beer. So we actually
Nice.
long turbid mash boiled to a traditional. If it were brewed in Belgium, it would be called a lambic style ale.
Mm-hmm.
We call it in America. It's called method traditional, and we let it be boiled to cool off in a narrow. Think of a little kiddie pool that's stainless steel.
Yeah.
And it cools off and evaporates. We add aged hops from Starpoint back when they originally opened. That we put the aged hops into that boiling sugar water to cool down overnight. Barrels. It's really exciting. It's also nerve wracking because we just it might taste good in 4 years.
Right.
Recently, it sucks.
It certainly does not taste good. No.
Well, I think that's the thing that a lot of people need to understand about some of these, longer age, like wild ales. Like not every barrel turns out good, and the ones that do turn out good might take a few years. And so it's a very nerve-wracking and cost-intensive process to make these beers.
Yeah, and that we do have some barrels that we just end up dumping.
Yeah.
So that's that just comes with the territory.
And it's not just a small number; it's like 20%.
Yeah.
Suck. There's too much wood, too much oxygen gets into it, and absolutely ruins the beer. Some of it, you don't know what all of these bourbon in, but they didn't have bourbon in them. They were in the back of the truck that was in the middle of summer, driving to Virginia, and I went and picked out a bunch of barrels from Kentucky, and I mean some of them got acetic acid bacteria in them, and they tasted terrible, or just terrible otherwise. So, we use those as furniture, and we're like a lesson to learn. It's not like, oh, I did that wrong. It's just that barrel sucked.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know what that microbe community looks like in that barrel when you open it up, but it makes a good planter at the end of the day.
Yeah. Tables, planners, coffee tables out of them, chairs.
So if you're going through the turbine mash and the cool ship and the whole thing, are we going to have like a Bull City goose at the end of the day, like a couple of years down the line?
Hopefully,
if these turn out right, yes. It won't be a goose. It'll be a method traditional 3 of 3. Yeah, but be a Bull City goose. We don't want to call things lambic, call kettle sours lambics here.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful. You don't want to piss off the Belgians, and somebody will fly over from Lembeek and start freaking out at you guys.
They're native people.
Yeah. So we were also touching a little bit on the canning thing, but I was curious. I mean, everybody's dealing with the weirdness of the last year. I mean, what have you guys been doing at Durty Bull to kind of adjust to the environment? And Ryan, from a sales side, how are you guys kind of getting out into the market and still trying to interact with Durty Bull fans?
So, I mean, right at the beginning, we Triangle Beer. We have a good gas parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we started doing invited all the local breweries, and we just basically covered our credit card transaction fees, paid everything right back to them. We did no touch. You drive through, have it prepaid orders, and no touch orders. So we had Full Steam Pony, Full City Burger, area breweries, and once in a while just had a little friends over from the local.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we've set up are these there's greenhouses that were basically bubbles for your go in there with your friends. It's definitely for your family / whoever's already you've bubbled down. So we'll have that. We'll have a heater. We're not really doing indoor work right now. Keep everything outdoors as long as. As far as sales, Ryan's just been doing a lot of brewery stuff.
The pandemic was definitely been challenging for sales wise out in the market because everything just kind of flipped overnight.
Yeah.
So we were doing something like 80% of our sales for COVID were selling kegs to bars, restaurants, bottle shops. We really can sell. With COVID, really changed it.
Yeah.
So, but that's a spot where having the canning line really helps people to sort of pivot there quickly.
You picked the perfect time.
I was about to say you couldn't have timed that any better to get a canning line set in. I mean, who would have known?
Yeah, so that worked out. Unfortunately, we also redesigned all of our labels and got a new logo and everything. And I think we launched it 2 weeks after everything shut down. So
I was about to say I have one of the. I guess now this is vintage, right?
that's vintage. That's yeah. So yeah, we were planning a lot of events on that. Any of that, it just sort of we spent money on everything and we had it, so we were just hey, it is with the family. And then I just trying to keep in touch with especially just here in Durham, keeping in touch with our accounts, like popping in for very brief amount of time just to drop off like a new beer with them or something, and trying to keep in touch with folks via email. Done some we spent a little more time on Instagram. We did a few Instagram kind of things whenever we would put a new beer.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically just the whole old system used to be tap takeovers and go out and do tastings, and you can't really do that anymore. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'm hoping by the end of this year to be kind of back into my regular swing.
Well, and I'm sure you guys probably have a little bit of an easier time of it once the weather warms up, because I mean the tap room itself is fairly small, but you guys have a lot of space out there to really spread out those tables and set everything up, and then you've got kind of that. I don't know if you guys use it too much, kind of in normal action, but I know for like festivals and stuff, you use that like kind of production area off to the side of the tap room. So you actually have a fair amount of space there once you can open everything up.
Yeah, no, definitely. Once summer weather gets back in, we have so much space. We distance everything out. It's super safe. We're not a small brewery in terms of staff. We're a really small, tight staff. So we really wanted to keep our core. So we've been really just overactive probably, but just about having to go out in the market, having exposure. So Ryan probably never done so much stuff in the brewery. So he's getting a little bit of change. And we'll be ready when it's normal to go out there. Launched in South Carolina 1 week before COVID.
Oh, wow.
I never even got a chance to go down there and meet any of our accounts.
Just started sending cans and then couldn't travel anymore.
And then a week later, everything shut down.
Yeah, but we're ready. We're just waiting.
I think we're all ready. I cannot wait until I don't have to really think about, on a Friday night, just going out to a tap room and grabbing a couple of beers and sitting at the bar next to somebody and having that not be a thing, So I guess now you guys are, canning the majority of your stuff. I mean, are you also seeing people buying in different patterns? Are people just going back to the kind of the more flagship stuff that they know, or are people trying all sorts of crazy stuff that you're putting out in the market? Is any significant changes on that front?
I have seen a little of a move back kind of towards just lager and North and lose you?
Just for a half second there, yeah.
So yeah, we offer our flagship beers, lager and Northern Broadway IPA at reasonably affordable prices. $30 something buck case.
Yeah, so people buy in bulk now.
Yeah.
So we noticed a lot of that. More people moving towards and buying a lot. but even, I mean, our 16-ounce cans, which typically house our release stuff, we haven't really seen it there either. Our sales are definitely still moving, everything that we're
Yeah.
buying more cases. We also do delivery, so we $5 delivery within 15 miles. I mean, people are just getting like 2 cases of a double IPA. Like, people are drinking a lot, I feel. I am, with all this. I mean, buying like 2 cases of a double, another 2 next week. Like,
I mean, we drink a fair amount for 90-second beer review, but and we're mixing up styles. I don't know what I would do with 2 full cases of a double IPA sitting in the house. That would take me too long to get through. It wouldn't be good by the time I finished the second case.
that's how you earn like stuff. It's like, damn, man, yeah.
I think that's how you earn a liver transplant, but
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many barrels are you guys making annually right now?
I mean, we would have been on about 1,000 here. We previous 2019 we made about 800. This year we're down. So 2020 ended up being just to about like 700. So a bit down, but I mean we would have had growth in that time. So a lot. It's our growth. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's also like a lot of people kind of pulled back that production to. You didn't know where it was going to go in the market. You didn't know how you were going to get it out to consumers, and I think it's still a little unpredictable from week to week, depending on what the regulations are and what the weather's going to look like.
Yeah. So when it first started, we didn't brew for, and kind of looked at some larger batches that we 30 barrel system, or we have a 15 barrel system that we double batch in.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of looked at some thought, okay, like we've got 30 barrels of a hazy IPA. Maybe we split that and make that 2 different IPAs. Like we'll try hop schedules.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of a lot of sort of really finagling things as best as we could. Dump any beer.
Not
because of COVID.
We had to dump once because we weren't happy with the end product. Sucks to. We just noticed we just wasn't really nothing wrong with it. It wasn't a little off, but we didn't want it to represent our beer, so we dumped a 30-barrel batch, which is $18,000. It sucked.
Yeah.
Durty Bull, my background was in quality control and pharmaceuticals, so we really do quality policy. There's a pass, no pass. We'll dump it. I mean, we'd rather have a good reputation than take our books. We are continuing. I'm a lab nerd. I'm continuing testing our beers for make sure beers have the right order. Clean beers don't. So
yeah.
We're constantly running tests. My office, and I'd rather put a good product out. Quality. I think that's what's going to really do in this beer bubble.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of cool. I mean, one, you obviously guys have the big challenge because you're making sour beers and clean beers in the same facility and dealing with all of the cleanliness challenges that go with that. But that's like a really interesting background to have to go into brewing. So, I mean, do you guys have like a pretty like set out like sensory program that you guys go through for each of these beers before they're going out the door?
I mean, our sensory program is our beers.
Yeah.
You can do the whole thing. A lot of repeat. Not like we have a control to compare it again. Most of our beers longer is in our North and Broad. Totally. You don't have the triangle test we do. We test. We do all the Q quality at all different points, and we look at the cells, the yeast, everything's healthy before we. But we just, if there's a flavor that's not supposed to be there,
Yeah.
things sit, we're probably all going to get on board and stuff. We'll really listen to each other.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
Like, I don't want to hear, let's dump this beer.
Oh yeah. I mean, you never, that's never where you want to be. But I do think it's also a really cool thing in the craft beer world. I feel like a lot of breweries are on board with, like, look, if it doesn't represent our brand, if it's not of the quality we want, it's going down the drain and it's going to absolutely suck. But we have to do it to put out a good product.
And about that beer down the drain, it actually went to Topo and to flavored hand sanitizer.
That's cool. That's the thing about, like, during the pandemic, a lot of they big box trucks and with breweries, and if anyone they would take it and put it.
Yeah, mainly to dump keg.
Yeah.
Most of them nothing.
So yeah, but facilities and create hand sanitizer.
That's a pretty cool alternative use for something that otherwise would have gotten put down the drain.
It made Chris and our head brewer and it didn't hurt nearly as much as it would have.
Yeah. All right, so I think we got to talk about this stout that we have over here.
Oh, perfect.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you want.
So I'm going to show this can off. So this has got a lot going on here, and the name says it. I'm in the works. So, obviously this is an Office reference, right?
Yes. Yeah. So this is the Pretzel Day episode of The Office. Michael Scott, Pete Pretzel, asks, it gets a list of 8 different guides, so we asked for all of them. We decided to put all of those things into this beer.
And so for those who have not watched The Office, I actually pulled this up because I think it needs to be read. The insane number of things that are put into this beer. So we've got sweet glaze, cinnamon sugar, chocolate, white chocolate, fudge, M&Ms, caramel dip, mint chip, chocolate chip, marshmallows, nuts, toffee nuts, coconut, peanut butter drizzle, Oreos, sprinkles, cotton candy bits, and powdered sugar.
Yes.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't even want to know who had to clean up the brew house that day, but
all fucked off.
I hope, but yeah, it actually put 15 of those ingredients in there, and you also put pretzels in. But we're not insane, so we didn't put like Oreo or marshmallow kind of thing. We definitely use those quantities, just because if you tasted all 8 in this beer, disaster would not be.
your brain would explode at that point.
The coolest one was throwing the cotton candy bits in, like evaporate into the, just like went up in like a poof. Disappeared.
I guess that is a pretty humid environment. They just kind of melt immediately.
Yeah, like before it even the surface.
That's got a great body on it. That is like thick and creamy.
So I don't know if Ryan told you, it's for boil for we boil for 6 hours on this one.
Oh wow! Yeah, I mean you can taste it. You can feel that body to it.
Caramelization complex, and yeast won't break them down. So that long time on the thick the motor oil effect.
Yeah.
Without having to, rely on like lactose or anything, which we try not to use lactose. What is the last thing we put lactose in? I think it was Black is Beautiful. But we try not to use a lot of. We don't like stupidly sweet beer. I mean, this beer is sweet.
Yeah.
It's I think it's reasonably.
I'd say with the number of kind of candy ingredients that went in here, I don't think you had any option but to be making a sweet beer at the end of the day. But you mentioned the Black is Beautiful. That was actually, I probably tried 10 or 15 different variations. Your guys' version of Black is Beautiful is actually my favorite. The using those chai spices in there, it actually, to me, almost kind of reminded me of kind of like a Mexican hot chocolate kind of thing. I thought that was really cool, and partnering with Jetta's was really cool for that. Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, thanks, man. We really like that one. That one actually, Best Beer Open this year had a Black is Beautiful category, specifically just for entering Black is Beautiful Stout, and we entered that, and we ended up tying with Stone, I think, in that category. A lot of it.
Well, not the very end category. All of those.
Yeah.
Definitely entered the year. One of the best things about our that we got to help the which is local use. One went to the NCAA matched our donations, so we were able to $12,000 was able to go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I think one of the the other cool things, right? Like, I mean, like that, out of that initiative, you had north of 1,000 breweries participate. You had a lot of really great beers made, but I mean, think about the money that went to some of these organizations.
And we were able to have that much. Not only thank God, probably right.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to an interview with Marcus Baskerville from Weathered Souls recently. He was like saying he's getting letters on a regular basis now from different organizations around the country that are like, look, I was able to do this, this, and this with the funds that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise, which I think is just super cool. Like, it's that and the kind of the Altogether IPA, collab, and some of these other ones that are coming out that are just raising money for good causes, and everybody's making really good beers while they do it, which is just I think it's a really just cool way of doing something that's good for the community while also making a product that everybody can enjoy.
Yeah, and that actually is what got Alex. That's what we here afterward, because we didn't realize how delicious our stats were.
Yeah. It wasn't a style that we had ever really played around with, and the Black is Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah. No, I mean, this one is, and honestly, like, I had the description up, for that you guys put on the website, and I think honestly it's spot on. Like, I get like a lot of like milk chocolate, like almost like it reminds me a little bit of like chocolate syrup, like you put in like a like a chocolate milk, and then like a lot of marshmallow, and then just like a little bit of peanut butter like on the finish.
Yeah, and the peanut butter was the coolest part in my opinion. This giant jugs of this I think it was meant for this peanut butter that just poured in. It was probably one of the delicious things I've ever tasted. The sins that was
Yeah, I mean, and peanut butter is funny. Like, I feel like a lot of breweries are like trying to use peanut butter in stouts, and like sometimes it works and sometimes it comes off kind of tasting like that powdered peanut butter stuff that you put into stuff. And it's like, I think to me, like having like the really thick body on it with the peanut butter flavor helps it come across better. Cause it, like you're used to having peanut butter in like kind of that creamy kind of thick body, mouthfeel.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, definitely. And a little bit of, I think that's the same with like a lot of our fruit beers. We do, like Sippy Cup is rather dry.
Mm-hmm.
Our fruit beers kind of like leave a little bit of sweetness. When folks, if you strawberry, you're used to tasting with it. So, it doesn't necessarily work in like a super dry beer, but if there's a little bit of sweetness behind, your mind.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for fruited beer. I think that's actually where some people like struggle in like the current craft beer community, where like they read an ingredient on a label, they expect to be able to taste all of it. And
Right.
like if you have a fruit beer that's fully fermented out, you're going to get the some essence of that flavor, but you're not going to get like blueberry jam or strawberry juice or whatever. It's going to be a little bit more kind of nuanced.
Oh yeah,
I bet you that's why the peanut butter comes out so well in this, because I bet you there's a good amount of artificial peanut butter in that Reese's peanut butter. Whatever the hell.
I honestly can't even imagine how many times you had to do the cleaning run on the brew house just to get all of like the fats and other things that are in all of those like prepared candies out of that equipment.
So fortunately, most of it was either the boil or the whirlpool, where you're not pulling just a direct grain off the bottom, off the side a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when it's going round. It leaves that big hunk of particulates in the center, and you kind of funnel it off the side. So that certainly helped. It wasn't actually most of it, honestly.
Really?
The boil and
so everything that was basically just pure sugar, which was kind of dissolved. Yeah,
the nuts and stuff, not so much, but
yeah. Those, yeah.
I would say, I guess the one lucky part is there weren't like really, with the exception of, actually, I don't really see anything in here that's like the mass-produced like baked goods and stuff that have like all of the, like, I feel like some of that stuff doesn't usually dissolve out if you put it in liquid, and probably creates kind of a mess.
Yeah. Wait till our devil, like Little Debbie's.
Our brewer is set on doing Little Debbie cakes, so that's probably going to be a stout.
So it's funny, for the Pints of Love Festival, we did an adjunct brewing panel, and we had Chris Candiano on, who's the president of Dubco up in Long Island on Bayshore, and he kept coming back to it during the discussion. They do a beer called Little Dubbies, and they put Little Debbie's, like the oatmeal cookie cakes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was funny, like he talked about it a bunch during the thing, and then it kind of went away. And then today they posted they just re-released Little Dubbies, and they had the Little Debbie's cakes with a glass of beer.
Although you gotta be careful, because I don't know if you saw Hershey's going after some of the breweries.
Yeah, it was like a small brewery in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like a tiny little brewery.
I can't remember what they made. It was some kind of porter with something in it.
With the malted milk balls.
Milk Duds.
Milk Duds.
Yeah, there was Milk Duds, and then they do like one with like a fruit, like it wasn't Skittles or something. It was something like that. It was like they did like
Jolly Ranchers. No, I can't.
You know what? It was I think it might have been Jolly Ranchers. But like they sold like $9,000 of beer and got like a cease and desist letter and like a major lawsuit.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right, so we got a couple of things I want to cover before we start wrapping up, and one of them is, I know you guys have a new product line that you're kind of getting ready to roll out there. So can you tell everybody a little bit about what's coming down the pipe?
Yeah, so we're dipping our toes into the world of seltzers. So we're actually brewing the first. We're going to do a batch tomorrow. And kind of just one of the things that I've been working on, like I haven't as much as really digging into how to that. Like while it seems, and the front end process is far more simple than the back end is crazy. Like it's so much more complicated. If you want to, so we're at our first batch tomorrow. We're gonna play around with some different additions, flavor additions, things that we're gonna do with that. But so that's something that I would say probably within should have cans of that available, assuming all goes.
That's awesome. So you guys can be doing like some like classic fruits, or
Sorry?
Are you guys gonna do like some like classic fruit flavors, or are you going like the pastry seltzer route, or what are we trying out?
So if we're gonna do it, we're gonna bastardize it like we do every. But I mean, we're gonna do a nice. We're gonna do a pog seltzer, passion fruit, orange, guava, and
Raspberry lime.
Raspberry
I think
lime
that's
for
where
the
we're
other
looking
one.
to start.
But we are. There are some do with beer out of respect for beer, or so far. But I'll do that. Seltzers, like who cares? Milkshake. We'll do whatever. Yeah, we'll have more fun with that. Especially because we're already working, to pasteurize it, so we'll be able to do some heavy fruit addition afterward, like sweetness, because that's part of the seltzer. And we'll be able to do that. And so upon that, we're also going to have our pilot brewery system when our so we're at a second location in Gastonia.
Yeah.
Ballpark Stadium. And we're going to have a there we're on a 15 here. That's going to be like a 2-barrel. So we'll be able to play along with that and really release the
Nice. So when is Gastonia like fully opening? What's the kind of the timeline on that?
Oh, I would love to say one, but it keeps moving back whenever I say one. So
I mean that's working with contractors, right?
Also, we're redoing things. We have everything ready with the city. A lot of the hesitation or a lot of the extra work is we have a kitchen, so we have just in order to get these permits, we have to have a complete menu with all the fully realized.
No, man, we only lost you for about 30 seconds there.
Yep. So we have to have a fully realized menu, and we just had to figure that out too. So there's been a lot of delays here and there. We want to do things right. But it's going to be right across the street from the ballpark. It's going to have, 5,000 square feet indoors, 5,000 square feet outdoors, which
wow,
can't beat for this this pandemic times. But we're really we want to really get it down, get it right. So we're spending the time while we have the time during all this to do it right. So
yeah,
like Q3 of this year.
Okay. Nice. And is it going to be like brew pub beer garden kind of setup, or?
Yeah, so it's going to be a much smaller system. So the focus is going to be way more on the beer garden than the brewery, obviously, when it's just a 2-barrel brewer system. But we're going to have some flatbread and pretzels and just really basic pub fare, but we want to do it right. So we're going to make the pretzels. We're going to make the flatbread dough. We're going to we want to do something simple, but do it well.
Nice.
Yeah, and having pilots I think is going to be great too, because we're going to be able to really play around with I said we're piloting a seltzer batch. Our pilot system here is literally like a brew setup, so it's going to be nice to have a nice legit pro setup there that we can go and play around on. And I want a barley wine, but we can't sell 30 barrels of barley wine, but we can sell 2 barrels of a barley.
And we can sell 30 barrels of barley wine between 2 locations.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I was like, there's a barley wine uprising going on. There's a lot of people out there that'll buy some barley wine.
I hope so. I hope that it's like the next hazy IPA.
I feel like barley wine. When we did the law with the glass jug, that's kind of barley. It's super IPA, barley wine-esque. When we originally brewed that beer with Chris Creech in a homebrew day, that was a 25% beer. That thing was a fucking barley wine.
I'm telling you, I feel like I've noticed it recently, just with the breweries in this area, people are starting to release barley wines. It's incremental, but slightly more regularly than you ever used to see them.
Yeah. I want some fresh bourbon barrels and I want a barley wine. That's my dream for this year, is to make that happen.
That's my like cold weather night, like on Friday, Saturday night. Bourbon barrel aged barley wine is what I want to be drinking.
This guy's asking for apple brandy barrels. I'm like, why is there apple brandy barrels? Why does that exist?
That's the thing, right?
I think you got to go talk to Whit over at Bond Brothers. He plays around with those.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Brandy barrel.
I don't know that there's a type of barrel that he isn't experimenting with right now, but he definitely has released some beers with apple brandy barrel aged beer in them.
Yeah, we just got fun barrels. We got some barrels from Durham Distillery that house their like this unique blend of their Navy strength gin that they did. Conniption.
Yeah.
Off bat. So we put some blonde sour in there. And, we're going to see what sort of fruits we want. So.
That's really cool. I mean, I think that's also been kind of a cool thing is like people playing around with sours and some of these other things in, gin barrels, rum barrels, like trying to do different things. Like, I mean, we were talking about Chris. He did that. I think it was last summer now. The Quantum Peach. It was like a peach sour in a rum barrel, which I wasn't quite sure how those two were gonna combine, and it was awesome.
It worked. Yeah, it was really.
Yeah. No, those are fun. I mean, Ryan, you've got your work cut out now. 2 markets, 2 tap rooms, bouncing back and forth across the state.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, that was already, it was pre-pandemic. I was already running across the whole state, and now it's going to be 2 states and 2. So I'm ready to be busy.
Is your car ready for that?
What's that?
Is your car ready for that? That's some serious mileage.
Yeah. I will say that my car has really enjoyed this kind of year off from having to be on the road so much.
Yeah, man, with like less than 12,000 miles on it. So,
you got work to do.
Yeah, that van's gonna see some abuse too.
So we're closing in on an hour. So I want to make sure people know, where can they find Durty Bull beer? What are the easiest ways to interact with Durty Bull Brewing and keep up to date on all the exciting developments between the seltzer and the new tap room and all the things you guys got going?
Instagram, Facebook. We have an email list we're going to start again. But yeah, just the social media, and you'll constantly see our new releases. We have probably 2 a month, if not more. Next ones are actually our next sour is one of our best ones. It's our ginger sour, Suburban Legend. And then we have a new day coming out, the pollen, when that happens.
Yep.
We all know the pollen.
Got a new. We're toying around with. We got a new Death to Smooth potential series. The first one's going to be Blackberry Cobbler. We're going to throw it out there and see if it moves.
Yeah,
that's a new potential series. And as far as where to find our beer, obviously if you're in the Triangle or passing through the Triangle, come to the tap room. If not, we are statewide in South Carolina. So go to your favorite local bottle shop, and if you don't see the beer there, ask them to order it for you.
And if you go to our profile, you can also, and you're within 15 miles of us, we'll deliver it to you. Contact. That's always helpful and nice. I hope that's one thing that sticks around post-pandemic. Like, people love these damn beer deliveries.
No, I mean, honestly, it's really been a cool development, and I know it's logistically challenging, right? Like, you guys have to coordinate that, have to be able to get it to people's doors. But I know for me, like, when everything really shut down last year, having that ability to either do kind of the contactless curbside pickup or the home delivery was huge. And I mean, I went back home for Thanksgiving, and home for me is Brooklyn. And we had to quarantine for a number of days when I first got there because of the state laws. And I was able to get, from the neighborhood we're in, other half M3s did, front door delivery, and they just put everything in a canvas tote and dropped it off.
Oh yeah.
And you couldn't beat it. I mean, it was the most convenient way to get whatever beers you wanted in your local area. But yeah, that's awesome, guys. Matt, Ryan, thank you so much for taking some time to join us tonight for an Instagram Live happy hour. For everybody out there, we're going to be trying to do these about once a week, bring a different brewery on every week. This content will be on IGTV. We'll also do an edited version that'll be on our YouTube channel. And when you're in the area, go check out Durty Bull. They've got an awesome tap room in downtown Durham. They're in a really cool area when we can all start going out again. You can really make a fun night of it. They're right near the guys at Full Steam. They're going to be nearby the new Glass Jug downtown location. There's a lot of really awesome restaurants in that area. So go downtown, check out the tap room, go to your local bottle shop, find some Durty Bull beer. And again, Matt and Ryan, thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate your support and helping us market these times. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.